TraderTube has been going for a few years now. It's been going for a while and I've made a ton of videos, but there are also a ton of videos that never actually got made and a ton of ideas that never got off the ground. This is a video about those videos. So I'm gonna just showcase some clips, some beginnings of videos that never got made, and I'm also gonna list out some ideas that I had that I thought had potential, but never quite left the nest. So let me know what you think, comment below, and enjoy this random video. I'm in Norfolk on the hunt for a chalk mine, a disused old chalk mine, been around since the 12th century. From the Middle Ages to the Second World War, Norwich has been mined for chalk and flint. These mining tunnels stretch out beneath the city with entranceways in various locations. The entrance I'm looking for is in an abandoned quarry where nature has reclaimed the area. The idea was simply to get inside the mine and explore. But the entrance had been filled in and I had no idea where it could be. I found some indications of a possible entrance and I was pulled to this area because it felt like the most logical. Here's some footage from two different people who got into the tunnels that are literally somewhere within feet of me. As you can see, it looks eerie and creepy, in a state of decline and gathering rubbish. Spray painted markers are on the wall, similar to what I'd noticed on a tree outside. There's old initials and dates carved into the walls. Ultimately, this project was a dead end and I had to let it go. But, you know, if you know a way in, let me know. I'm on the search for lakes, quarries, tarns, pools, becks or similar that offer themselves to wild swimming or a spot of skinny dipping. This project is pretty straightforward. The intention was to make a solid video of awesome swimming spots in the UK. I ended up going to 4 different locations for this. 2 in the Lake District, 1 in Scotland and 1 in Wales. Except the weather was really bad and I felt like I needed a lot more swimming spots to make this video good enough. So the video sank into the depths because I didn't have enough time or money to pursue it. It's the 9th of March, we've had a few beers. I'm here with Rob Mattingly and Jono. I pitched my idea of the hot air balloon. I'm going to ring up some companies that sell balloon fabric for like hot air balloons in order to try and get some so that I can make my own hot air balloon. I still think this is a great idea. Following on from my scuba diving helmet video, I realized people really like seeing build videos. So, having explored the water, it was time to explore the skies. The original idea was to get hold of scraps of balloon material and stitch together my own balloon. Then I'd make a rudimentary platform to stand on and somehow build a jet burner.
Good afternoon.
How do you come up with the size the balloon needs to be for one person?
Aero engineering.
Aero engineering.
I'm
out of my depth.
Bye.
This didn't stop me, and I figured I wouldn't make my own balloon and instead I'd make the platform and jet burner somehow. Finding the balloon envelope was actually fairly easy. I was offered a 180-foot one by some guy. It was massive, but getting it back home and looking inside it, I found it was actually a heap of shit. It was damp and mouldy and unusable. So I found another one, much smaller and from a much nicer chap. I wanted to make a sketchy ass homemade balloon because it is possible to do that. Our world is technologically advanced and we rarely appreciate the mind-boggling feats humans have accomplished to get us to this point. The hot air balloon is essentially a buoyant sack with a basket dangling from beneath it that grown adult people put themselves in and float above the ground. China is credited with this invention in the 3rd century BC. Today's big dreams are colonizing Mars and insane engineering feats and scientific advancements, but these would not be possible had it not been for those who dared to be brave and bold over the centuries. Retelling that story would not be a waste of time. Before Jacques Cousteau invented the self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, we had Edmund Halley's diving bell. A massive bell-shaped chamber designed to displace water like an upturned cup, allowing people to descend into the briny depths of the ocean with enough oxygen to breathe. These people would then swim out from the bell and explore the area around them, predominantly for salvage purposes. I thought this would be a great story to tell. It was invented by one of the most brilliant minds in history. It was in use from the late 1600s and the biggest advancement by humans attempting to break the limits of undersea exploration to that point. Imagine descending into complete blackness with no light inside this metal pot. To get inside this and get lowered into the water must have required a huge amount of balls. This project never got off the ground because I needed to design the diving bell with some proper specifications before I could even inquire about the cost of fabricating it. I have no CAD design skills, and aside from a sketch in Photoshop, I simply got stumped on turning this project into a reality. Literally pumping toxic chemicals directly into the ground beneath our feet, this movement in fossil fuel technology is disgusting and abhorrent to nature. It's a subject I wanted to get to grips with in a video. There is a real grassroots movement out there protesting against fracking, people putting themselves in harm's way to protect the environment. Fracking rarely makes it to the news, and the establishment media does not condemn the process. There's a lot of good films and information about the destructive and poisonous nature of fracking, and I wanted to add my experience to the fray, but it would require a lot of time that I just can't sustain at the moment. My basic entrance level opinion on fracking is that it jeopardizes our world for future generations. Poisoned water supplies and areas of natural beauty destroyed by industrial activity makes the outdoors a less appealing and more restricted place. And as more people are living in the cities, less and less will see the value in our beautiful world, and it will be easier for these destructive practices to take place. My fear is one day there'll be nothing beautiful left outside. Affectionately nicknamed Anthrax Island, this spit of land was purchased by the British government to experiment with anthrax in 1942. The government took the island from its owners and placed a bunch of sheep on there before detonating bombs with a highly virulent type of anthrax called Volum 14578.
The bombs fired, and the wind carries the cloud towards the line of animals and impingers. This is a static burst.
All the sheep died within weeks, and the island was contaminated for 48 years before some small acts of terrorism secured a decontamination commitment from the British government. I was in Scotland for a week attempting to get access to the island, but with no luck. I called one person after another and even found myself calling a funeral director's son who owned a speedboat who might take me there. I just wanted a few hours on the island to tell this odd, fascinating and unusual story. Unfortunately, my timing was bad as I was in Scotland when Storm Ophelia was bashing the British Isles, so there was a good excuse for nobody wanting to take me there. This has been a few projects that have never got made. I have loads more ideas floating around, so if you like this video, let me know and I can make another video with some more ideas that I've had that haven't got into production. If you've got any help or tips to offer me, then please comment them below. And if you fancy buying me a coffee, then click the PayPal link and I will thank you in the next video. Thanks very much and see you soon.